Are you jealous?
Oh shit, here we go again.
Bitch, are you jealous?
Oh shit, here we go again.
I know what it is. Another episode of the amazing Type Beat, live in effect from outer space in an unapologetic studio. My name is I Make Mad Beats. I'm your host for today. Type Beat is a producer engineer podcast. We talk about pretty much whatever the hell we want to talk about because we're producer engineers. But we mostly talk about producer, engineer type stuff. Behind me is my cast. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Unique.
C major.
Kid Maestro.
Kidrick Le Maestro. All right. What we talking about, man?
Man.
Streets.
Yeah, we definitely talking
That's
about
definitely the streets. Which streets specifically?
Definitely talking about the
See,
streets.
y'all hadn't thought about that yet. So we can use other topics until we get to that.
We ain't talking about Louisiana.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we be having discussions on Wednesdays. Type Beat,
That might got a
Type Beat officially sponsored by Louisiana Hot Sauce.
Never
Shout
that.
out to them.
The people have a different opinion.
What up?
We had a
Daylight,
discussion.
what up, fam?
What's
Yo, what's
up?
up,
Like,
Daylight?
what he do?
Let's go.
We had a discussion on our team meeting one time, and we was like, "Yo, what's your food hot take?" And this man unique. This
Terrible.
one man
The worst take.
he said
The best
Louisiana
one.
hot sauce is trash.
It's trash.
Worst take.
Bruh.
I said
Your
to the
taste
world.
buds is trash.
That's crazy.
That's what happened.
That's the only way.
That shit
So
smell
that's got to
like
be some genetic
spice
mutation.
dirt.
Dirt.
Spice
nigga.
dirt.
Spice
Spice
dirt.
dirt.
That's what it tastes like.
I feel like this is
Gotta come back. Let's start it one more time.
you
Yo,
just be looking for
That ain't
controversy.
bad beats, bro. You know what I'm saying? That Type Beat out of space.
Shout out to sponsor Louisiana.
Never that.
Shout out to Nola
Yeah,
and their hot
exactly.
sauce.
Off top, bro. We 1 minute in and Unique got us just saying grossly false things that we gotta.
I wouldn't
gotta
be
think
me if I
about
didn't.
defamation. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get sued.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Louisiana, you good with us, man.
Yeah,
No,
super
sir.
good with us. You know what I'm saying?
Pull up.
Indeed. Hold on. Did y'all introduce yourself?
Yep.
Hold on. Let's skip Unique. See, man.
I'll do it again. C major. The Louisiana guy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bruh, it's Kid Maestro. And niggas know, you know what I'm saying,
Niggas
man?
know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas used to pull up with the large bottles, you know what I'm saying? The dirty side.
Man.
Like,
Like a-
really, you know what I'm saying?
Like
Yeah,
a
y'all pull up with the
man.
Don Julio, I pull up with the Louisiana.
Louisiana,
We
come
get
on.
into it.
Man, it's
Absolutely.
crystals or
Yeah.
Tabasco in this bitch.
You know what I'm saying?
Period.
Anyway, man.
But-
topics.
But
you
back to
feel
the
me?
topics at hand.
For sure.
Yeah, man. So we talking about what is musical success in 2025. It's a crazy world we living in. Does music even? No, I'm kidding. What is music?
What are we
Wait
talking
a
about?
minute.
What are you talking about? This
What
up?
are we here for?
What is musical success in 2025? What are signs that you might need a new producer / engineer? What is that producer engineer doing? Isn't making you be like, no, we gotta switch this up. You're not the one for me no more. And then what producer standards / rules need to come back? What are niggas lacking these days? What do we need?
Yeah, what we need to, what are we too laxed on?
Real quick, Nubia says these topics are messy. I'm excited. I noticed you said that before we announced the topics. Maybe some sort of prophecy. Somebody has asked me to read their name. I'm not going to do it because you asked me to do that.
Yeah,
So I feel like something is up.
it's weird energy.
It's very, you know what I'm saying? Big shout out to all my
Feel
weird
like,
energy people.
It feels like a setup.
It does. It does. Big shout out to everybody
Hi,
checking us
man.
out, man. We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. We're also on Facebook. So I'm looking at all the comments. The Facebook comments are the hardest to keep up with. But yeah, man, what we talking about? What is success in 2025 as a musician? Woo!
Yeah. I feel like
Seems like it's social media based to me.
one thing that immediately came up was like, I don't even know how to describe it, but some sort of like like almost 360 deal kind of thing. Like I'd be thinking about like Monty Booker. Like he's got a dope artist, he's got a dope solo catalog, he's got a dope placement repertoire, a dope solo repertoire. He's got a artist associated with him, but he's also got like a personality presence. And those things all seem to feed into each other. So he's making these cool like short film type junts. It just feels like a comprehensive, like almost media company or something around him. I feel like some version of that where there's like a very open book storytelling presence is part of what success looks like. You know what I mean? Like leveraging all mediums in some sort of way.
I couldn't agree more.
I feel that. I
All right,
definitely.
next topic.
Right.
Success equals
That's the end of that.
I feel like that's it. You know, I would like to say like, you know, music pays your bills. You know what I mean?
That's what I was thinking. Like, is there a number to this? Is there a number to success? Is there a following to success? Does that matter at all? Like, the people that your fans, does the music matter?
I feel like success has to be unfortunately tied to like your follower to engagement ratio.
Literally. Literally. I was just saying that, like, it seems like if you're not showing like content of you actually being a musician, it's like your musicianship doesn't really matter.
So just so I'm clear, you're talking about success just in terms of like maybe just how good of a musician you are.
Well, not
Is that what
even
you're talking about?
no, well, not even just how good of a musician you are, but like how consistent you are as showing up as a musician. Like say if, you know, being a musician isn't all that you do other things. Like it's like, well, you know, you'll seem like kind of like, oh, you don't know what you really want to do type stuff. And it's like, if you're not solely just doing this, it's like people won't take you serious as this. You know what I'm saying? They'll just see you as a collective of things. Not saying that you won't be successful in those collectives of things, but it's like, as far as like music success, they'll be like, "Oh, I get questions all the time. You still doing music? Damn right. You know what I'm saying? But I do hair, I sew and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like people don't feel like I'm as successful in music. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not showing that I'm doing music all the time. Yeah.
Get that? Yeah, I think musical success to me is based in impact. I think the stuff that you listed, Kid, was definitely like a part of that. But I think when I think of musical success, I think of like, does your sound have kids? Like, what did you influence in music? I think of Ye, even Pierre. Like, I think of like those type of, even Travis Scott. Did you shift sound? And that's a very hard thing to do. But I think that's what I think of when I think of music. I think that's the height. To me, that's my goal. Like musical success.
What do you think music success is, Matt?
Sheesh. Man, you know, I think that's an individual question, and so I'll answer it individually, right? So my answer does not apply to anyone listening. It just applies for me. You know, my goal when I was 20 years old was just to have a Honda and an apartment, and you know, and then being creative be my life. You know, man, so much has changed in this world since then. But for me, I think being successful in music is just doing music at a level that creates opportunities for you to do music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when your music begins to be an asset for you, right?
Right.
And then that the things that you're creating creates more opportunities to do the thing that you love.
I understand.
For me, that's success. Yeah.
I feel that. I feel that.
Another thing that came to mind was like having, particularly with the caveat of in 2025, is being able to have an audience you can directly sell to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when I look at models of success that are inspiring to me, all of them have a cultivated fan club. You know what I'm saying? That they
Hold
can.
on, real quick. If you're out there and you're a musician, or even if you're not a musician, because I think external, perspective would matter highly in this. What is a successful musician in 2025? My bad, kid. Go ahead. I just wanted to let them know that they can chime in on this.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
Yeah.
Go ahead and let
we
the
will
rules in.
we will absolutely, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? We prefer to talk about what you want to talk about. We got our guidelines, you know what I'm saying? But please join in on the conversation. Your comments will be acknowledged and heard.
Definitely.
We already cutting the string. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Unique was saying some wild stuff, so we had to
Don't put me in that.
we had to check that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just feel like when I look at certain models of success that are inspiring to me, like the artists are directly talking to their community in a place that they can directly sell. Like there is very little middleman to get to people that want to support you in various ways, particularly financially. That seems like
Yeah.
part of the you have achieved success model for modern times.
Yeah.
I feel like we might have talked about this before, but do y'all think that for y'all goals that y'all just mentioned, musical success, and if we go like global goals, which is fame or whatever your like reach, impact, all of that, is a label, is a record deal still necessary for that in 2025? Like, do you still need a label to do what you need to do?
I
It
think it
depends
could
on
be immensely helpful for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. It
Just-
depends on the impact they're trying to have.
Yeah, I think it's mostly, I think it does have its pros and cons, but
Yeah.
I feel like today the best utility of a label is to have like an influx of cash really, really like all at once,
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
fast. So you don't have to like piecemeal the types of reach that you can get. You know what I mean? So if everything around you, if your story's locked in, your brand's locked in, your music is good, you know what I mean? And you're plotting on retaining those fans too,
Yeah.
like past whatever label situation, just long term in general. I feel like that influx of cash, and usually the types of organizations giving away that type of cash for music specifically with connections are labels. Do you need one? The social media, I think, has democratized reach globally for
Definitely.
sure. But what you do with that reach, you know what I'm saying? Like even just to maintain an email list requires, if I'm not mistaken, some sort of subscription. You just need money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the more you can spend somebody else's money, the better.
I feel like also they're good for like, extra resources that you wouldn't normally get on your own. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You usually got a Rolodex of them jets.
definitely.
That'll pull up.
Definitely. Oh my gosh. But for real though, like just resources that are able to be attained, like as far as like people will take you serious as being a businessman or businesswoman or whatnot, but they'll put even more into it when they see, oh, you got some powerful people backed up behind you. You know what I'm saying? And they'll, damn, come on, man, like somebody else say so, cause
They'll take you seriously if you got that.
Ay, Dios
It's like,
mío.
who behind you?
No me importa, no
Very
me
good
importa.
Hold on. I have this thing where. So C Major's question was, do you need a label to achieve your version of success? Was that it?
A major label.
A major label. Okay. And thank you. Great distinction, by the way. Okay. Like, this is something that I do that I always hope more people do.
Yeah.
Okay. So he asked the question, do you need a major label? The answer is no. Right? Now, then I would say what Kid said. It is helpful. Right? And then the reason why it's helpful more than anything else is an immediate injection of, levels of cash that are not commonly available to most independent artists, as well as already pre-existing networks,
Yeah.
right? Um, that is incredibly helpful. However, right, and this is why we're where we are with social media, is because people also realize, yeah, all that stuff is good, but you don't. But there are at this point many examples of what it is to make it to get to a place of leverage and or success without a major label,
Yeah.
and so the ways that people are doing that, people are biting them doing that every second of the day.
Yeah.
And that's what's creating the atmosphere that we see on social media currently.
Yeah.
Is because we saw a few people do it this way, and it's the one way that didn't cost us either $500,000
Yeah.
or I have to appeal to a once in a lifetime opportunity with a major label,
Right.
right? And that, my friend, has drenched social media.
I'm gonna say you're a great example of that. To be honest, like your success came without any of that. You know, it just came with you and discipline.
Thank you. I think, but I also think, just to be fair, I think my success is my success,
Right. Right.
right? Meaning, like, I wasn't chasing the same things other people was chasing.
Yeah, that's right.
A long time ago.
Yeah, way
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
there was people like
Yeah.
me to tell you this. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I think that's a key. I think if we're distinct, if we're calling out 2025, let's say you're an up and comer now. I don't like even if you playing a social media game, nigga, the labels is running social media now. It's like it's really like it's not it's not off when we masturbate in 2018. Like you can't just post this shit everywhere and it's going. Now you
Right.
got now you need money to play that game. Like you,
Yeah.
I don't know if there is depending on who you want. I don't even know if you can be what you're talking about. I don't know if you can find 1,000 extremely loyal fans. I'm not even talking about tens of thousands, millions. I don't know if you can. Well, maybe that's like you in the real world. But I feel like it's still hard to do like the niche. I need 1,000 loyal fans without some type of major or semi-major backing. I don't know.
really quick, kid, before you
We got a lot of comments.
Yeah, we got several comments. My man Mac, he says, I think a successful musician in this day is being able to be creative, and like you said, being able to create more opportunities. Big shout out to Mac and the whole IMC family. Man, we got a lot. We got several going on YouTube. My man Fox, he says, music success for me is having agency to create what you want and create with few compromises, and usually requires leverage or cash. He also says, hence the focus on cash. Nubia says, I think a successful musician is someone whose music making process is sustained by their artistic endeavors. Their art makes them enough money to stay alive and keep making and sharing art. That feels real and true. Fox also agrees. My man Ghost says, what up?
What up?
Yeah, that's where we are now. Kid, what you about to say? Probably something trash, but go ahead.
Is it, yeah, I think in that conversation, I feel like a kind of a nuance is that like when we talk about utilizing social media to garner success, most of the time, like I feel like we just like naturally frame it as social media alone. You know what I'm saying? Even the major label game, like there was marketing, but then there was touring. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like a lot of people are just not considering having to like go out and leave their house
Yeah.
and do stuff in front of
That's
you.
what I was saying.
That's
Like I
right.
feel like doing real shit, but even still, like even touring, like who you finna get in front of without having a poppin' social media? Like I think
Yeah.
I don't know.
It does
No.
help.
No, I mean, you're absolutely right. I think, and this is why I think the flood is in social media,
Yeah.
because everything else requires more money, more effort, more energy, more risk, right? And so the flood is in social media. You can swing and fail in social media, and it doesn't feel as gruesome as dropping $5,000 to hit a few cities on tour, a lot of time and space, a lot of gas, a lot of
Yeah.
wear and tear on
Yeah.
somebody's car, gathering people to go with you, X, Y, and Z. But like C. May said, it's how do you, I look at doing shows as like or touring specifically, there's like a threshold of like what makes a tour successful, right? So there's like you can just go, you can hit, 50 cities and be in front of crowds of like 20 and 30 people, you know what I'm saying? And that doesn't hit the tipping point
Yeah.
of creating a fan base, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or like that tour costed you more than you gained,
You're right.
right? And then there's like the other side. Let's say you go on tour with Smino or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or some well-known artist, and you're in front of, 500 people every night, right? Okay, after 50 of those, you know what I'm saying? Now
Yeah, you lit.
you have thousands of people who have witnessed you. That you're definitely hitting the tipping point, right?
Yeah.
But getting on tour with a Smino or some, artist at that level, right? It's not easy.
Right.
It's eerily similar to appealing to a label in the first place,
Right.
right? And so you're looking for that middle ground of what can you control on your own? How many fans do you need to hit total in a tour to reach a tipping point, right? And then how do you pull that off? How do you get those fans to pull up to you and you're a stranger,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This is where, y'all as my team, y'all know, how I approach these ideas. I think you have to be strategic. You have to aim at people, and you have to do it in a repetitive way. And this is where data and analytics can come in. But usually those machines, again, labels already have those built in.
Yeah.
Those machines that they use to aim to get people familiar with people in certain strategic ways. These are also advantages of major labels, major companies in general, right? It's not just about music. Major companies focus off of aggregated data.
Yeah.
Upstart companies be like, yo, I feel like this will work.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I think too that there is.
Hold on, real quick. I'm sorry. I just want to get to my man Daylight. He says, in my opinion, every talk or workshop that I've been at where someone works at a major label talks about what you need to be backed by them. It's never your sound or quality. It's always about your followers,
Yeah.
your status on social media, and in general, a numbers game. I don't think I can work with a major label if all they care about is how many followers I have.
Yeah.
Because isn't the point of joining them to increase your presence? Great,
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
comment by Daylight for sure.
That's right.
I was just watching a video last night on the science behind that whole idea that everybody, you can connect any two people in the world in 6 degrees or less. And they was talking about like when you leverage that, like the power, they call it the power of the weak connection or something like that. Like when you ask somebody how they got a job, they would be like, oh yeah, so and so told me about it or whatever. And then they found when you asked, is that person your friend, a lot of people would say no, they're like an acquaintance, you know what I'm saying? They're not in their close friends. And so I think that's also like a strategy to be employed, like even in the touring situation, right? Where like when you think of going on tour, you're trying to get in front of people who like or to fall in love with your story, the things you make. But I know something that we often employ when we go on tour is the aim is to connect with the people, like the people organizing it, right?
Right.
And usually it more than the fans that we gain, we get opportunity and keep climbing up because we're strategically connecting with the right people, which is easier than getting 100 people to like buy in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like out of 150, you know what I mean? But we can keep going back. We can get in front of larger audiences with less, I guess, input by also investing into the connection, your network part,
Right.
when you're on tour. And I think that's another part that artists, specifically when you're deciding to go independent and not work with the label, super fall short because they'll show up and do the show, you know what I'm saying, but won't really do the work to like know everybody who organized that job.
That's right.
And then
That's right.
continue and maintain a relationship,
That's
DM
right.
them, you know what I'm saying, on
That's
social
right.
media, all of that stuff. But when we've gone on Weirdly Luxurious tour a couple times, and admittedly, we get those shows over and over again, not because like we have this like trackable number, like we're going to bring this many people out. It's just that we met the right people and they love us and love what we
That's
do
right.
and love what we stand for,
That's
and
right.
continue to want to put us in front of audiences.
That's right. That's
You know
right.
what I mean? So I think that's a part of it too.
But then I think again, and I'm gonna hop into some comments for a second. I do think though, and you know, I'm not trying to soldier boy this, you know what I'm saying? But I do think though that is a product of you having a different version of what success looks like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like you're, and the reason why I say that is because I think that stems from my version of success, right? Which is because it's just true. It's like I don't, like there's somebody who's like, man, you know, we didn't bring out more than 10 people or more than 30 people to the show or whatever, right? That was a fail, right? And then there's other people who, like me, right? Then there's other people. Well, yeah, I am trying to get the most amount of people. Y'all know
Yeah.
the standards we've employed for the past 10 years to get as many people at the show as possible, right? But I've been telling y'all since day one, like a few hundred people show up to a show in Memphis and it's a great show.
Yeah.
50 people show up to a show in New York and a third of those people can change your life
Yes.
with an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so for me, when I look back at my career, and if I'm being 1,000% with everybody who's watching this, like my career, we've had hundreds of people at our shows, you know what I'm saying? My career was way more affected by who showed up than how many people showed up,
Yes. Right.
right? And then how potent was your message, right? And how clearly had you defined yourself as an artist, all played a role, because that's what it is. If somebody saw how clearly you were what you were and what you stood for, and then they said, hey, I want that involved in this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And these are things that I don't think your everyday independent artist thinks about. They're measuring themselves the same way Michael Jackson or somebody else would have measured themselves in 1996. It's a different time.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a different time, and you know there are different opportunities. The things I tell young people all the time, man. I'm trying to tell y'all right now, bruh. Hey, I could add up every, and I want to. This is real because I don't want to throw it off anything, but I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I can look at everything I've sold ever in my entire career to fans, right? Just people who bought a T-shirt, people who bought an album. You can add all of that up. It'll never add up to how much money I got from businesses, right?
That's right.
To some random guy who showed up, saw this and said, hey, I want that guy a part of my business endeavor. I want that guy to help me build this. I want that guy to help me score that. You know what I'm saying? That money dwarfs anything I've ever made from a direct fan of my music. And I'm not saying I super want more fans of my music. I super want more fans. I want more people to show up to our shows because I'm a musician first, and I believe in that connectivity between, you know, a listener and a creator.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But business-wise, financially, what did Nubia said? Nubia said, okay, the things I create should create room for me to keep creating.
Yeah.
This is how I did it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
My bad. And then we also got comments. My bad.
Yeah. What we got?
Really quick. Nubia said, yeah, I don't understand the point of a major label at all. If they don't do any artist development, they want you to come to them with all of your fans already. Why I need you. Then Ghost says, what do you think about word of mouth in 2025? Let's put a pin in that. We'll come back to that. Otaku says, waves from event and runs back in, for sure. Man, I came into you spitting, no doubt, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. We tell people in the Twitch space, 5 people on a couch is a lot of people. You got to fill a couch before you fill a room or an event center or a restaurant or a building. Fill a couch. I love that.
Yeah.
He says, yes, business partners are important. They will support you if you acting right and doing good things. For
That's
sure.
right.
My bad, kid. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just like kind of recapping that was sort of that was just responding to the idea that like playing the social media game is a lot like is kind of sliding into playing the major label game. And I think that that's sort of in a good thing. It's a sort of a good thing if you're playing all the roles that a major label would play, not just the getting a bunch of followers, not just, you know what I'm saying, bringing out people to shows, but also building the connections that come with the major label. You can build those, which I feel like is way easier because you don't even have to you don't have to perform half the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you can create in a silo, not have no shows, but develop your people skills, learn to talk to people, and all of a sudden pop up. And now your first tour can be on a jump with Smino because your network has significantly decreased your degrees of separation to a bunch of dope people.
That's right.
Just by showing up and not leaning into your introvertedness.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I think it's
I definitely feel that, like, for real. Like, I practice that now to this very day. Like, I practice building relationships with people outside of, like, my music artistry. Like, I think Matt had said it, like, I get to know them as human beings. You know what I'm saying? And then we venture off into, oh, so what do you do type stuff. And, like, it's really been helping me. Like, I really see it. You know, it's a slow process, but it works.
Yeah.
Like, it genuinely works.
yeah.
That's real. I want to. My man Ghost just asked a question that is a perfect segue into something I wanted to say. That is like, asshole territory. No Diddy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Territory is the word, bro.
Yeah.
No Diddy.
Oh, done.
Man.
Oh, my
Yeah, I wouldn't even know that type of time, bro.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That is egregious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, one of the most never said. So Ghost says, "How did you get those people in the room?" Right, man. There's something that does not get mentioned enough in this game, right? So we talking about strategies, meeting people. We talking about social media, blah blah blah. You know what also helps, Doug? Being really good at what you do.
That's right.
Right? I feel like there's so much discussion around strategy that people skip over. Wait a minute. I kind of need to be phenomenal. Like, I kind of need to be better than the average person that does this. I also need to be self-aware enough to know I am not yet. I need to get
That's
better.
right. That's
I need
right.
to practice more. I need to figure out a way to stand out. Yes, if I get 10 people in a room, how do I make those 10 people in a room tell 80 other people?
That's right.
That means I have to do something remarkable.
That's right.
Wow. I didn't think about this. All I thought about was hashtags and followers.
Or gimmick. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
That's right.
using trending audio.
Yeah,
I feel like the talent pool. I feel like the whole, like, I feel like technology, all of this stuff has, like, shortened the gap in perceived talent. But talent is still a very important and real thing. Like, niggas.
Yeah.
And then I feel like you don't see that unless you're around. I feel like niggas be in a silo too much. Like, you don't see that unless you go to another city or you go somewhere where it's, like, really talented niggas. Like, oh damn, nigga, I ain't shit. Like, you gotta feel like I'm not shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
work in your show,
Yeah.
you gotta be like, damn, what the
And
fuck?
get
Like,
on your shit.
Mm-hmm. My man Daylight, he just said, responding to Kid. Man, thank you for saying that, bro. Responding to Kid, because sometimes people be responding, I'll be like, yo, what
Shout out to Daylight.
Big
bro.
shout out to Daylight. He said, responding to Kid, man, that's how the whole Memphis trip happened. I was called into work after school for a 15-minute conversation, and staying locked in led me to meet all of the talented people over there at Outer Space. Big shout out Daylight, a
Shout
19-year-old producer engineer who is getting crazy opportunities, getting sent by Google and
Period.
Urban Arts in New York to come and meet us down here, connect, you know what I'm saying, build with us,
some good
create stuff
food.
in the studio.
Come on.
some good shit.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yo, he's a great example of this.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
He's a great example of what it is to be locked in. And it's crazy because, you know, I was telling, Daylight, I was talking to D after we dropped you off at the airport.
Pause.
Damn, man.
Sorry.
I was talking to my man D. Trevon after I dropped you off at the airport, you know what I'm saying? And I was telling him, I'm like, yo, I'll be honest. Like a lot of times, you see people get, I see a lot of people who get opportunities and they're not going to convert them. And I
Yeah.
know those people from a distance.
Yeah.
I know when you don't have the habits, the personality, you know what I'm saying, the discipline to convert the opportunity that you get.
Yeah.
Right? This is gonna be the greatest thing that ever happened to you. And 5 years from now, you'll be telling people about what you did 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? I can see that from a distance. And I was like, it is rare to find people who actually get opportunities and have all the built-in mechanisms to convert that to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I felt about Kid Maestro when I first met him. I was just like, oh wow, like he, and I'm just being 1,000%. Kid, no, like when Kid was first playing me beats, I don't think I liked any of them. You know what I'm saying? But I knew very clearly, and now Kid is dope as hell. I just want to make sure.
And I still don't like them.
He's still proud.
He's getting all these opportunities. This is the example.
Now Kid is an assassin. You know what I'm saying? But
Facts.
but what I saw very clearly was he had all the mechanisms to convert this opportunity and get to the next level. And I just want to say, Daylight, as soon as you left, I was having a conversation about how clearly I saw that in you.
Yeah.
And so that explains how you even got down here in the first place.
That's right. That's
No
right.
doubt.
Yeah. Nah, being good at what you do is the key.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you got it.
I was gonna say being good at what you do, and also Matt said this earlier too, but being able to articulate and creatively show how good you are at
That's
what you
right.
do is a extreme. People be good. I think niggas be talented and be geniuses, and where they struggle is showing people that they're,
Yeah.
they're a genius. That's
Yeah.
a hard thing to do for a genius.
Yeah.
That man spitting, bro. Get the collection plate around. My man, Nikita, which we don't know what she do. Nikita says, shout out to Daylight.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Ghost says, I've always been a firm believer in-person connection is still the best way to gain. Absolutely. That's
That's right.
facts. That's not a belief. That's facts. Strategic, of course. Daylight says, man, I appreciate that, and I appreciate all of y'all, man. We appreciate you
Appreciate
too,
you,
bro.
fam.
Like, honestly, you being here was very refreshing for me and my whole team, for sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we got more work to do in a few weeks. Let's get it.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. We got some producer. Right, that one to go. All right, bro, chill out. All right.
Oh, done.
He's a producer. We got some producer work.
I'm done.
Come on, bro. Yeah.
Man,
No.
Daylight is a young producer out here, you know what I'm saying, fresh to the game, but the game been around for a long time, and the rules and the landscape of that
That
game
wasn't where I was
is-
finna go.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
we talking about when is it time to switch from your producer to a new nigga?
Well,
So I'm about
we
to
miss
switch from
we
you.
miss LJ, bro. LJ,
Yeah, we
come
miss
back.
you, bro.
You know what I mean? What you doing?
Big time, bro. What do you even do? What do you even do?
You not
What
doing
is
the
the name of your clothing?
right?
Let's move into the next.
Why is that Kanye's most memorable phrase to me? I remember that more than any lyric ever. What is the name of your clothing line?
That might get boy, soy ass.
That was an epic time, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That was a real ass time.
That
But not
nigga
for
was
real,
still
when
like 50% spitting.
No, facts. But now, people, when do y'all feel like it is time to change your producer/engineer? Like, when do you feel is that I don't want to fuck with you no more type shit, or you not? That's not my tempo.
Okay, I would like to. I'm gonna just let this be that version of it.
Okay.
But I would like to say, there's also a version. It's time to switch up, not because of anything bad. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Right,
it's just
right. It's just not your tempo.
like as you're growing creatively, you need new tools.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Specific
right.
to the vision.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. I'm a lean.
Uh-huh.
Unique is the
Yeah.
only person, well, not the only person, but I've never worked with a producer as a artist. Or,
I felt the need to switch my producers/engineers when, like you just said, my vision for my sound wasn't being conveyed properly. Like, yes, I love hip hop. Yes, I love rapping, but I also sing, and I will always shy away from singing. And the producers/engineers that I used to work with, most times they would want me to rap all the time, and I'm like, okay, if I'm yeah. like until I got with like Ari, Ari more so like promoted like, you know, you can actually sing, like we want you to sing.
That's crazy.
But
This like the
yeah,
Erica Badu story, fam.
yeah, like, and like it just like it felt good to know that a producer saw what I wanted and wanted to help me get there. You know what I'm saying? In the way that I saw it. And they believed in what I saw to where they believed that they could help me get there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, like even being here, like I know that I'm a hip hop head. I know that I love jazz. A lot of producers, especially Memphis producers, they, you know, it's all about the 808s, which is wonderful, and I absolutely love it. But shout out to the beat community, because I didn't find out that hip hop was living in Memphis like that until I started just getting in my own producer bag and just going to beat battles and stuff like that. And I don't know, like even with my engineers, like shout out to Ari, you know what I'm saying? Like he was super dope, but I did realize there was something else needed. Like he was more so, you know, recording for like Dolph and them, you know what I'm saying? And he was more so a rapper engineer. Not saying that he couldn't engineer my voice, but the certain sound that I was looking for, I think I first started like really thinking, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying, maybe he can get in that bag when he recorded Mr. Amazon for me. And not to say that I won't ever go back, because I definitely, you know, will, but like when I got with Mad and you guys, like y'all gave me a better outlook of my own sound and what I was capable of. You know what I'm saying? And like I know I'm not always like confident in my singing capabilities, and the fact that you guys are like, nigga, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm about to say that right now.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Seriously though, but a lot of singers don't get that from their engineers. A lot of artists don't get that from their engineers, and some of them do. Like, but it's more so like if you're doing the kind of things that they like. And it's like when you find a producer that, you know, that kind of it's like you're equally yoked to. You know what I'm saying? That's when I feel like it's time for a change. That's the one you need to stick with.
It's all great stuff, man. My man Ghost, he said, man, when they become stagnant and unwilling to grow, when they become comfortable, unwilling to listen, comfortable with good instead of great, when creativity is strangled by fear and ego.
That's good.
Yeah, that's real. Like, cause a lot of I've known a lot of producers / engineers like that will tell you what they want instead of being like, well, what do you hear? Like, how do you feel about this? And then be like, well, I can aid to this, instead of being like, no, you need to do it like this. Like, no, like we're a team. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a producer engineer / artist relationship should be like a team. You know what I'm saying? Like working together, not you telling me what to do type stuff. Like, it doesn't make me feel comfortable in the booth at all.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like when I think of artists, I feel like you're always on a journey to find that person that you would never. There's an end to that chain. I don't think that's like a forever thing. Like I think you're always on a journey to find your 40, to find your young guru, to find. But once you find that person,
it's over.
And you're locked in. And not saying that you don't work with other people. Like Jay, somebody else with me. Like but Guru always has a hand in something. He might not even touch it. He might just listen to it. Be like, oh, is this okay? Can I send this out? Like whatever. Like, but I feel like until you found that, then I feel like you're switching. Like that's your not even on a bad thing. Like kid is saying, like not even like aside from ego and all of that like type of stuff. Like even if you just don't feel like this is, you know, my person, I think that's a good enough reason to switch up. But when I feel like it's just like this is a marriage. Like it's just like a relationship or whatever.
And it's okay. Yeah.
And once you found your person, you should know. I hope you know, and that's the one you lock in with like forever. Especially if you make a sound that does something crazy, and again, unless ego or any of that ruins it, that's your like that's your personal favorite.
And I've even seen like producers slash engineers like get upset with an artist wanting to change. It's like, oh, you taking business away from me. No, you should be happy for me that you aided in my journey to helping me find my sound, to helping me, you know, find my vision, instead of getting upset about the fact that I need a change. You know what I'm saying? The world is always evolving. Like I'm evolving as an artist, as a person. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's just been unfortunate to see like the egos and the emotions behind that, instead of being like, you know what, you need this, and I can't be the one to help you get to this, you know what I'm saying, or even leading you to someone who can. Like I respect that, you know.
No doubt. Virgo says, engineer-wise specifically, when the chemistry and energy is no longer there, the studio is a sensitive place. Great engineers know this. That's real. Daylight follows up. He says, I believe in the saying, if a limitation or restriction is placed on collaborative work, you won't grow.
That's
I
right.
was always told that to make it as a producer, I needed to make tight beats of one artist only and post 2 to 3 times a week. And once I finally stopped doing that, I was able to achieve my own sound
That's right.
without caring about what should be in a record or shouldn't. That's real. Always be open-minded, never leave ideas on the table.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I feel that.
Yeah, kid, I know you got some ideas.
Yeah, I think I feel like when it comes time to switch or change it up, I think it's very like message dependent. 'Cause I think like if I'm thinking about me as an artist and the types of artists I like working with, like usually it's like project dependent. Like the messaging or the space, the headspace of the project itself, like just sometimes just requires different tools. You know what I mean? And I think that is like the period. I mean, the time to like explore those tools. And I feel like, I mean, that's taken a lot of inspiration from people like Kanye. You know, I feel like he found very good ways to reinvent his sound, you know what I'm saying, and explore parts of himself very successfully. And I just think it's just required. You need to bring different people in. You know what I'm saying? You need a different environment. Sometimes you got to have a retreat to bring stuff out of you. You know what I'm saying? A new environment. You know what I mean? A new space. And I just think I think I look at it more like that, where it's like a fresh perspective.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, like one of my like core joints is like, it was somebody who I haven't worked with before. When they work with me, the goal for me is to make something that neither you or I could have made without each other.
Yeah.
And so to me, I think that extends to every other collaboration. And so you just like, there's always some sort of untapped potential with some other producer artist pairing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you have to work with that. You need that pairing to be able to get it, to explore it, to unlock that. And so just the curiosity of learning who you are, I think just comes with that type of collaboration. Like there's just beats that I can never make or think of when it's not all 3 of us, you know what I'm saying, locked in doing a joint. It just never comes up.
That's how
super
it
facts.
Facts.
Super facts.
For real. That's how I feel about like when I make my music. Like, yes, I produce myself, but like it's just a different feeling when you're around the right vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have connections to the right people that can bring those ideas out. You know what I'm saying? Like even like we were talking about at the shout out to Memphis Export 101 when I was talking about the crochet song. Like I know plenty of producers in Memphis that, you know, could have possibly made the beat, but like it was meant for C Mage to make that beat, you know what I'm saying? And he turned it up the way that it needed to be turned, not for me, but for the people that needed to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it worked out. Like that shit's still climbing.
Yeah. So yeah, I have a perspective that I feel like all artists should want to be exploring new parts of themselves. And I know that's not the case for every artist. Not every artist is interested in that.
Yeah.
A lot of artists are just interested in refining what they find
Yeah.
that works and like
For them.
turning that specifically up or continuing that.
Mm-hmm.
Not even in like a stagnant way, but
Right.
just like they don't really have an interest in exploring, you know what I'm saying? But that is just my perspective as a whole.
Right.
And I think that's really healthy. And so I feel like I want to encourage that. Like, yo, work with me on this, John.
Yeah.
yo, next time hit
Yeah.
up C major.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's what I'm saying. Like I agree with that, but also you need I do think you need a constant. I do think there's.
I think my bad.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I think every vocalist I've ever seen, they have different requirements of a producer, and so that determines like what do you need from your producer engineer, right? Like sometimes your producer is the guy who makes the beats, right? And then I mean, I'm like, think about this, like. I'm going to produce ELO. That's a wildly different.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not making no beat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's a different relationship,
Right.
right? It's a different kind of relationship. And so, why would you change this? I think it depends on what do you need from a producer and or engineer,
Yeah.
right?
right.
And you have to define that.
That's right.
And I think that changes from the artist. Like, you know, like there are some in the label. There are some artists where I just hit play on the MPC and walk out the room, and 30 minutes later there's a whole song. You know what I'm saying? And then there's some people where we have to ideate together. You know what I'm saying? And kind of refine some things. You know what I'm saying? And then there's some people where I'm not pressing play on no beat. I'm just getting the right people in the room. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You know, and then in every one of those scenarios, the artist doesn't, like the artist that I just need to make a beat for, that artist isn't just appreciating that I made the beat. The artist also appreciates that I know all I got to do is do this.
That's right.
And that doing other things is too much. Right? And so it depends on what you need from that person.
Yeah.
And then how self-aware of, and this is a real big point, how self-aware are you of what you need? Because I find that a lot of artists don't know what they need, and then they blame a producer engineer
That's right.
for not giving them what they need when you don't know what you need.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly. Now, some producer engineers are good. They can assess you,
Yeah.
right? But you can't require that of everyone.
Right.
Producer engineers have talents and specificities just like singers and rappers do.
That's right.
Asking, you know, somebody who sings gospel to come over here and sing opera, right? You
Yeah.
can't just say just because they can sing, they should be able to do that.
Right. Right.
Right? The same thing goes with producer engineers. And some producer engineers are LeBron James. They can play every position.
Yeah.
Others are a point guard.
Yeah.
But you got to know, if you're trying to build a team, what are you looking for?
That's right.
Be self-aware.
Yeah, I think that was, man, I feel like that's the most important jump, bro, because I think this is controversial because I feel like this is like in the producer role, but I don't know. I feel like I don't think there's enough artists that have enough vision. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's a producer-artist relationship, but like to some degree, the artist should also be a producer. You know what I mean? Like,
And
I
vice versa.
feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what I
Definitely.
mean?
Hey,
Like,
I'm telling you
Definitely.
this live. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of my advantages in making beats for rappers is I've actually written hundreds of verses. Some of y'all noticed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, hey, I'll even go even further to say there's stuff that we've released, that some of our artists have released. I wrote it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and so absolutely, that absolutely gives me an advantage. I'm sorry, kid. Go ahead with your point.
I just think that a lot of times, what you said about artists not knowing what they need and then blaming producer, but I also think that's like what I feel like when you find a producer that is good at giving you something that you couldn't explain, like the response, I think, unfortunately, is the artist then stops learning how to explain that. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like, okay, cool, you got it.
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
stop
I'm
learning.
so glad I ain't got to explain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of growing from that situation,
Right.
and then being curious enough to find more parts of themselves. I sometimes, because I think Quincy, Michael, 40, Drake relationships are very, very productive and needed. But I do think that sometimes they're just based in like a lack of willingness to get out of your comfort zone, right?
Mm.
In search of more. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just like an artistic,
I
you know what I mean?
I'll go as far as I agree with everything you're saying, but in my like the way I would kind of arrange that thought in my head is that like, you know, for all intents and purposes, like a Quincy and a Michael pairing is two unicorns finding each other.
Yeah.
Like you have to recognize like that is incredibly rare. Michael Jackson is rare. Quincy Jones is rare. Those two finding each other and teaming up is rarer than anything.
Literally.
It's extremely rare and not even improbable, incredibly unlikely,
Yeah.
right? And so, you know, finding that kind of magical pairing, like you have to be prepared to not find that magical pairing.
Yeah.
And empower yourself to be self-aware, to explain and to know what you need to get to where you want to go.
That's right.
Yeah. And I think the same is for producers. Like, I think sometimes producers be too dependent on that one artist and they're not exploring other
That's
people.
right.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
right.
And looking for things that can bring out more from them.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's right.
I feel like it's just a lot of just find something comfortable and just repeat it over and over and over again. And, you know, I just have a bias against that being the way you live your life. You know what I mean? And your creative life.
I feel that.
Sure.
Speaking of going against things, like what kind of rules like should producers go against nowadays? Like what kind of rules are we like, I think this should be a thing or I think this shouldn't be a thing in 2025? Like how are we looking at that? I got a list of some things.
Type of producer rules are we bringing back?
Yeah. Like, are we bringing it back or are we leaving it where it
Gatekeeping,
is?
let's go.
Yeah.
Gatekeeping.
We
Period.
definitely got to gatekeep.
We 100%.
So
We gatekeeping everything. I'm about to tape my machine up so you don't even know what I'm using. Bro.
a couple of things that I
This
found.
You
Yeah.
don't see nothing.
Oh, we got a comment real quick. Vision is extremely important as an artist. Without vision, you're just walking in the dark, in my opinion. I can't make beats, but I've always considered myself a producer. I feel that, Virgos. Okay, so the list of things that I saw on the internet as far as like rules go, where it's like complete your projects, organize and back up your work. Of course, we all know that. Prioritize good sound, which a lot of people don't do. Be instinctual, meaning listen and play, but don't overthink music. Music relies on instinct as much as technique. Create a living, breathing sound, meaning make music that feels alive, surprising, and not for robots. As far as professional and collaborative guidelines, respect expertise, not just your own. Communicate clearly, like we were just talking about, knowing what you want. Stay open-minded and compromise. Focus on the end goal. Keeping emotions in check. Of course, copyright your music. Be realistic. Understand your role. Blah, blah, blah. But one thing that I do think that they don't talk about is producer percentages. And I saw that producers nowadays only get like a 15 to 25% on a record. And I've been known to give 50% on a record. You know what I'm saying? Just on some like that's what I think is the right thing to do. How do y'all feel about that?
That kind of bridged into a whole different topic. I'm
Yeah.
listening.
So I think though, okay, I feel like those are guidelines. I think those are like guidelines, but I feel like the question is more from the perspective of like paying your dues type jobs.
It's like the unwritten, and then I think we're specifically talking like hip hop rap production too. Like it's like the unwritten like quote unquote old head hip hop producer rules. I think is what we're talking about. I do think a lot of those joints do not exist anymore.
Right. And so the idea is, do they serve? Were they valuable enough to bring back? Like,
Yeah.
has those rules going away made the producer landscape worse in a way that we should bring them back?
Yeah.
Like sampling and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
the main
like,
one I was thinking of was like back in the day, if a nigga made a hit off a sample record and he made a hit off of that joint, you was not finna go sample that same record and throw, not let alone sample. Like you might even sample the same record.
Maybe 10
You're
years
not
later.
finna take the same part and then just throw some different drums on it. Like that was like a thing that was very not happening. Now that is 90% of
the
the
thing
radio.
to do.
like
2 years later, you hear that same sample.
which for I'm super conflicted because for a moment I was like, this cool, but now we've been in this shit for like 10
Yeah.
years, and I'm like,
when y'all gonna
fuck.
give it up? Y'all ain't got no new music to do yet, nigga.
And it's just
So I feel like some of this shit do need to come and
I
we need
feel
to
that.
gatekeep these samples, bro. It was, and then they went back to you talking sample snitching too. Like, how do niggas even find out that these,
well,
these-
because the song was a rap hit from 10 years ago. Like,
But that's just like I've heard like Sierra stuff be resampled. Michael's waiting now, 'cause my window.
all right,
Like
so
Chris,
let's break it down. Let's give an example. Okay, using the same sample. Let's take it all the way home.
Yeah.
Virgos, you on this joint? Bet. You know what I'm saying? All right. Pro. Let's say Virgos, you make a song sampling some song. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sample Cranes in the Sky by Solange. Let's say I'm just naming a song. And then Pro come, I get in the studio with Pro and make a song that samples that same sample, and me and Pro do a joint, right? Is that some sort of violation, right? 'Cause that's technically allowed, but is that some sort of broken, unspoken rule that I shouldn't have done that? Especially
think
knowing
so.
you just dropped a song sampling that
That's-
song.
I think that's kind of jacked up
Yeah, that's not the same thing. That's
How?
because
not
like
like-
nigga,
that's
Because I mean, you could say Pete Rock and then DJ Premier. They would have. I mean, they at a larger scale, but they still have that same relationship.
nah. We had all right. Now you. The way you making it sound is the nigga
Yeah.
just dropped the joint and then you like, or he might not even dropped it. Like,
Then don't let it go
I think
viral.
there still.
I'm
is
saying
like a
you heard.
time.
I'm saying you heard it. We dropped it or not? Like,
Yeah, now that's crazy to me. And I think that's still
trash.
crazy. You heard
Yeah.
another nigga beat, and then
Be
you
like, I
went-
want to get on
got
that
that same sample.
Yeah,
that's-
So that
that's trash.
That's crazy to me. I think that's still crazy. Like what I'm saying, Hit Boy just sampled J.E.'s the Nelly joint under the E.I. joint.
Mhm.
Hit Boy just sampled that and finna throw Sexy Red on it. Now that's what I'm talking about. Like that's and he it's the same. It's the same. Like he literally just took the beat and then put some different drums on it. That's what I feel like that shit wouldn't have happened, but I fuck with it, and so I'm conflicted on like, does that need to come back?
I feel that, but I feel like my example is still the rule. That's still a joint that would have been unacceptable.
Your joint is unacceptable still now.
Okay.
You saying a nigga made a beat, you go back to your lab and take the same sample?
Take the same sample, make a different beat though, different drums. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I guess
So there's a story that is literally. So at the end of We Got the Jazz from Tribe Called Quest's Low End Theory album,
yeah.
right? Q-Tip. This ain't no Q-Tip.
This ain't no
Q-Tip
Q-Tip.
says. Q-Tip says he's shouting out people. He's like, shout out to Pete Rock for the beat. You don't stop, right? But if you look at the credits for that track, right? It's produced by a Tribe Called Quest. It's not produced by Pete Rock. And so when Pete Rock tells the story of that, he's like, yo, when somebody asked him, like, yo, you know, how did a Tribe Called Quest ended up getting credits for a beat that was shouted out that you made it in the song, right? And Pete Rock says, I was listening to the sample at a record store. Q-Tip was there at the record store the same time. Heard me listening to this sample, went and got his own copy of the record, and then just made a beat out the same
Yeah,
sample.
that's crazy.
That's
right? And P Rock is like, nah, I wasn't cool with that at all.
like
That was weak as hell.
He
that was
shouted the
foul.
nigga out.
And then he shouted him out on the track. Yo, thank you
I'm done.
for this
Yeah.
sample beat.
That-
You know what I'm saying?
That was crazy back then, and I think that's still crazy.
I-
That's,
It's
Bruh,
wild.
that's not what's happening.
I was in the studio 3 days ago with a very close. I'm not gonna say that because I don't. Cause now I know. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. But a very very close producer. I was in the studio one night listening to records that I bought. I was recording them just saying, and you know what I'm saying. We vibing. You know what I'm saying. Listening to my records, and it was like, yo, that joint is hard. You know what I'm saying. I want to sample that joint too. I ain't sampled this joint. We listening to, but we recording. You know what I'm saying? We recording samples in that I acquired.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, cool, whatever. You know what I mean?
Do you think
But
that
so you saying him doing that is like, that's fucked up because
Yeah.
that's because it's essentially the
Well,
same story.
Yeah, but
well, kind of because he didn't go find his own stuff. I think it's messed up if he sampled something way before you get to, and you're the one that did the work to go find that sample.
Yeah, it's two sides. I be hearing I've been hearing all these ones too. Them just dope as a mug. I would not. These your records, like I would not.
Yeah.
And unless we did some type of challenge and you was like, all right, let's all sample or whatever. Like
Right.
that's the only time I see that. But on the other hand, he asked. It was like, and you gave. You know what I'm saying? You gave
Yeah.
him.
And then I could also see if the beat, the sample was used, but it was made to where you didn't even know that sample was used. Then I could see, okay, you know what I'm saying? Because like it's like a trend to use the same 5 seconds of a song nowadays. But if you actually took that sample and we're like, dang, that's hard. Where you get that from? And it was like, I used such and such sample. It'd be like, oh dang, I ain't even know. So I respect that. That shows creativity.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me just read some comments, bro. I'm not exactly sure what Ghost responded to, but he said a challenge, not a violation, though. Daylight says, I'm going to keep it real. There are other producers out there who claim to have sampled a song and created a beat with it, but all they did was take a section of the original sample, loop it, and add their own drums on top of it. Yeah, you got to chop the sample, give it a whole different vibe before you call it a sample beat. Shout out Daylight, you know what I'm saying? Straight out of Brooklyn, Brownsville.
Let's
you know what I'm
go.
saying?
That's a very hot take.
Yeah, you gotta top it. Yeah.
Like you can't loop nothing up and call it a sample beat. That's a hot take.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about these joints, bro. I'm gonna be real because it's like I think it's a very nuanced discussion. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think that there is a global rule. You know what I'm saying? I also think that you got to think about the timing of these things. So, for example, right? Like when I talk about Pete Rock and Q-Tip and that whole story about we got the jazz. That was an era where, like there was a thing called digging in the crates, right? And so, how deep your crates was and your ability to find rare samples had an extreme role in how good of a hip hop producer you were.
Yeah.
Right? That doesn't exist anymore. Right? Like that rating system. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Madlib sampling something from Brazil, like immediately put him in a different category. You know what I'm saying? Because he had thousands of records from Brazil.
Yeah.
And that was something that it's just like a DJ back then, right? Like now we all have access to everything. But back then it was like, what are you willing to do to get access to unique things?
Period.
Right? And that was used to measure how good of a producer you were or a
Yeah.
DJ you were. That's not the same anymore.
Yeah.
Like those measurements they don't have the same value anymore. So it's like, it's hard to say that finding a unique sound directly influences like or is right or wrong when I know that that's not even a thing anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just the world globally, producers globally, like the majority of sampling hip hop producers, at least from my anecdotal life, that's not a valuable thing anymore. Right? And so I I can't generate a rule off of something that I know the majority of people doing this. It's not even a value anymore. Which was different in the 90s. In the 90s, it absolutely was a valuable thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it determined, how people looked at you, how people respected your craft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think it's still. I think that's still valuable. It looks different now. Like when I was, especially when I started sampling, we weren't on records. It wasn't we weren't going to record shops, but we definitely were on YouTube. And our digging was this YouTube junk with 2 views, this YouTube junk with like 3, like nobody ever heard of this junk type situations. And I think I don't know where even them niggas is. No, I think we got to a point now where it's just like, oh, this worked before. Let me make it work. Let me make it work again. Like,
And now people are sampling from TikTok and Instagram videos, like those reels and stuff like that. Like that's what I see a lot of times, like a cat saying meow or something like that, and they turn it into this whole different beat. Like it's very different how people are finding their samples nowadays.
I think it's also fair to say Prince predicted all of this like 40 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Now they sampling the same.
You know what I'm saying? Like this was very inevitable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
none of it.
Like
Yeah.
the first fork in the road was, do we sample or not? And if we
Yeah.
chose yes, this was bound to happen. You know what I'm saying? And so, at the end of the day, none of these rules is going to get brought back. This is a very imaginative conversation.
You know what I'm saying? Well, okay, so yeah, I mean, I think that's the idea, is that should they? You know what I mean? Like would we be better off if they did have the opportunity to come back? If we, you know what I'm saying, united and was like, yo, niggas need to start I don't know, what do niggas need to do? You know what I'm saying?
I'll just say this, bro, just to respond directly to what I believe is your sentiment. It is. I can't see how it is not clearly better to have higher standards for anything. Right? I do think rules and regulations that aim at higher standards, AKA, so let's just say, for example, right? Higher standards of this. Like, hey, somebody sampled this last year. It was the biggest hit of the year, right? There is some level of shame in place to where if you sample it, you will be looked down upon as a biter or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right? Now, today's crowd would look at you and be like, you're judgy, this is blah, 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 blah. But what that person is really dodging is you actually got to do a little bit more work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to go and find something different, or you got to get better at making something different.
Yeah.
And so that standard is really telling you, try again. And you might have to try harder. And people hate that. Right? But I can't think of a world that isn't better if you ask people to try harder and to do it better.
Yeah. You know, I think too that I think one of the byproducts though would be like a level of secrecy that I think we could discuss is productive, right? So in this scenario, right, one way you also avoid this situation is like, yes, Q-Tip just has to go find something else, try harder, you know what I'm saying? Be better, right? Dig deeper.
Pause.
Just for the record, Tribe Called Quest is like y'all birthday. I got love, you know what I'm saying?
I am not C Major. CJ is not saying none of this.
You know what I'm saying?
Of
course, you know what I'm saying? Following the leadership of I Make Mad Beats, last statement. Try harder, be better.
Wow.
That's good. You know what? Hold on.
Wow.
But also, if that's now the environment, right? Is a tactic, is Pete Rock intentionally knowing Q-Tip is out here and playing his sample that he's considering out loud just to stop? You know what I mean? Because he ain't do nothing yet. He's literally listening to records, right? It's a high probability that he might not even use that record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so is then like the proper thing to do is like, yo, stop just playing me all your samples just to keep me from using the song you might not have chosen, but just to like lock it down. Yo, check out this record. Let me play you every gen on it. I've been thinking about sampling this. You know what I mean? And now,
I don't feel like you should just have to, hide your stuff though. Like if you excited about what you listening to and want somebody else to listen to it, I think that's great. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
thought he had a friend.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna look it up after we get done with the stream. But the more I think about it, the story might have been that he went to Pete Rock's house and Pete had it already looped up.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, matter of fact, let me look this up right now.
Wow.
Let me look this up right now. Y'all continue on. Let me
That would be wild.
That's
That's
the
a-
different type of
That's
situation.
crazy. Wow.
That nigga tip on a different type of time.
Dang.
That's a different joint. But like, I'm knowing too. Like, yeah, you're not finna catch me up and like you play me this joint and now I'm biting. I'm like, nah, I don't want to hear your samples. Do not play me what you excited about.
Yeah.
Play me the finished beat.
I feel that though. Like, yeah.
Because I might discover this record and I might choose a different song, and I feel like that's fair. So don't play me this. Don't let
Yeah.
me. Yeah, nah, bro.
I
Don't
feel
try to
that.
lock this shit down to lock me into some sort of honor system.
Pete Rock says he had a beat at home using his SP950 and at one point left it playing on his drum machine
Wow.
while he answered the door. Q-Tip came downstairs, heard it, asked what it was, and later recreated the same elements for
that's
We Got the Jazz.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yo, that's
Yeah.
That's wild.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if I Make Mad Beats would agree with that.
Yo.
Do better.
Do better,
Oh
dig
my
deeper.
God. Yo. That's wild though. Dang.
Yeah, bro. I feel like
gotta do
that's
better, man.
that's so crazy, bro.
That's funny, bro.
Wow.
I just imagine walking into the studio 8
Right.
and it's just like,
Bro, he shouted that nigga out, bro. That's
Yeah,
disrespect,
Pete Rock,
bro.
Yo.
Bruh cited his sources, you know what I'm saying? Which is, you know what I'm saying, in
Dang.
academia, that's perfectly fine. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
not
Like,
funny.
no, nigga. No.
Dang, that's crazy. All right, what about, I feel like there's got to be some other old head producer rules, you know what I'm saying? What about sample snitching? You know what I'm saying? Like these beat breakdown joints. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I fuck with like not gatekeeping, but then at the same time, like it's like some people like they kind of get upset about the fact that like somebody took the same sample and did something better. Especially don't let them make no real money off of it, and you put your heart into it, and you know what I'm saying, made a dope beat, and it didn't go anywhere. Like, but
There was a time.
I don't know. No, go ahead.
There was a time where niggas didn't want people to know.
Bruh,
the part.
I watched I think it was DJ Premier. I watched an interview with him talking about this specifically, where he was like, you know what I'm saying, now, because back in those days, a part of it was like a legal joint because they wasn't
get
clearing,
that.
they wasn't
I
clearing
get
these
that.
samples.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
Which is still happening today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But still, people will break down the joint. You know what I mean? Like you don't got
I
no
get that
chance
part,
of getting
yeah.
away with it because some nigga on YouTube
Yeah.
is like how to
Hey,
make
the
a
internet
track
is
get
going
it.
to,
Like,
man,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
telling
yeah.
you.
and really reverse engineer your whole shit. You know what I'm saying? Which is a skill in itself. That's like a whole new skill set that has emerged in the modern era. It's
No,
like
facts. The internet gonna find out.
the tight beat. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like
I get that element of it.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
I was
Like-
just thinking the
like if you play the beat, that shit was crazy, and then I go and be like, yeah, C Major took that one joint, this sample, flipped this part, but he reversed. You know what I'm saying? Just really just explain your shit away. You know what I'm saying? Without your consent. You know what I mean?
But also, I do feel like if you are like a little bit more creative with the way that you make the beat, niggas can't just remake your shit like that. Like it all depends on like how much work did you really put into making this track. In my opinion, only because like I don't feel like a lot of beats can be replicated. Like especially the more like intricate ones. Like I do feel like there's some music out there that someone else can't break down how you did it and what you did. You know what I'm saying? They can try, but yeah.
Yeah, I love that as a, you know, well, let me just say this, I try to recognize when and what is a unicorn, right? And I do think that producers who know themselves and put themselves into what they create at a depth to where something is unmistakably from them,
Yeah.
that's rarer and rarer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I do think most producers now are making things that can be remade,
Yeah.
you know, with ease. Like not even but you don't even have to be like a skilled science, you know, sound guy. You know what I'm saying? I actually did that here. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't I think that that's hard to do. But then I think you have some producers who are just like when you hear this stuff, I don't even know how they made this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
those producers are getting rarer and rarer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also just think that sometimes music should be extremely simple. You know, and so everything can't be intricate and scientific and meticulous. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Sometimes it should be really simple. And therefore, if it's really simple, a lot of times that means it's easy to reproduce. Just to get back to the whole rules of sample stitching and all this type of stuff or whatever, man, that should be brought back is the key phrase. Man. Okay, let me just say this. I think. Okay, this is really the global idea for this whole part of this conversation. Should there be more shame, right, in how we do what we do, right? Like should there be thresholds to where if you're above here, you're respected. We respect how you did it. And if you're beneath here, you might get made fun of, right? Should everything be allowed and okay, right? I think does that feel like that's the core question we're asking you?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. With that being said, right? I don't think everything is okay, right? Now, this is the reason why it's a hard thing to answer is because we're talking about what I think as a person allowed to have my own thoughts and opinions. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to have the what everybody else thinks. I can have my own set of rules and what I think is cool and not cool. And as long as I know, you might have a different opinion, right?
Yeah.
Cool, right? I think I'm super allowed to have these opinions. And in my opinion, a lot of the things that people do keeps the craft from going forward, progressing, and making it hard, you know, to be a part of it. Because that's the thing. Anything that's easy to become a part of, people stop getting better. Right?
Yeah.
Like it has to be hard to be a part of it. That's what keeps people getting better.
Yeah.
Right? And so as a fan of whatever this thing is that we love called music, I want people to keep getting better.
Yeah.
Right? And I want new challenges, but I recognize that I'm a unicorn in that way. I don't want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like I'm the best when I walk. I want somebody to be better than me when I walk in and make it clear I got to get better.
That's right.
Right? The other day I was at the gym and there were people shooting, right? And I ain't hooped in months, right? I literally chose the tallest person in the gym. He was about 6'5". I said, yo, let's play one-on-one. I knew I was going to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm out of shape, right? And this dude is 6'5". He clearly hoops in here every day,
Yeah.
right? But that's my personality, right? Like, I want a challenge, right? I grew up with two big brothers. The one right above me was murdering me every day, and I knew it was making me better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I knew it was. I don't think that's most people. So that's why it's hard for me to answer this because I know what I want, but I want a scenario that makes me have to get better.
Yes.
I don't think most people want that. I think most people want scenarios where they feel good immediately, you know, but at the same time, globally speaking, I've never seen a scenario where somebody telling you gotta be better is bad.
Right.
I've never seen that.
Right.
I've never seen it. I've never seen circumstances that make you try harder get bad results.
Right.
You know, and as a whole, comprehensively. I've never seen that.
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
But what are some of those things that you see that are not moving the crowd forward?
I mean, there's not. I mean, I would say, Quincy said this, man. Quincy said that he thought that hip hop had innovated percussively, right? But it did not innovate melodically,
Yeah.
right? And I agree, but I don't know if it's hip hop's place to do that. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop has always been a percussive driven thing. Hip hop is not jazz. With respect to its influences, it's not jazz.
It's not no Q-tip.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I'm done.
But if I had to point in one direction and say, hey, you know what? If people didn't do this, maybe the craft would be getting, pushed forward. You know what I'm saying? It just, I mean, I could name specific things, but at the end of the day, it's like, the biggest difference between music, in my opinion, the biggest difference between music now and music maybe when I was growing up or 20 years ago is that now it's okay to sound like somebody else. It was not. It wasn't even kinda. It wasn't even like a thing that you like, that was like half and half. It wasn't a debate. Like now we can sit here and talk about it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and people would have differing opinions. That's not what it was at all.
Yeah.
Like violence might come to you. You know what I'm saying?
That's
If you
right.
sounded like somebody else.
That's right.
I feel like that's a really good one. I think that I'm gonna have to super agree on that, John.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a sounding like somebody else.
It's still
always
very
a
relevant
better
to this day.
situation if you sound more like you.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Absolutely.
always
That's
gonna
right.
be better. It's gonna be better for the artist you work with.
Yep.
It's gonna be better for.
She trash.
I mean, but you might find somebody that likes your trash. I was walking through the forest earlier today.
What?
And
This man different.
This nigga too different. Nigga said I was early today. Nigga, it's 3 o'clock.
hit the morning junk. Shout out to the
forest, bro.
Come
the
on,
nature.
we got a forest in Memphis.
We got
Yeah.
plenty of forests in Memphis actually.
Sheesh.
You know, don't it?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And when I be walking through nature, like my whole thing is like observing to figure out, is there a lesson in this, especially to the creative life. And the lesson that I was just observing that was loud today was that like there was no such thing as waste, right? Everything was getting used. Like we would look at a broken jump, if that became a whole new ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? And I super believe that like somebody's best can sound like trash to somebody. But if it's super you, like it's a whole ecosystem to a whole audience
bro.
of
Look
people. You know
I
what
feel
I mean?
that.
Switch beats,
I
man.
feel that. I feel exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
Real
But
quick, my man Daylight says, Def agree with Mad. He's the GOAT. He says, he says, hey, yo. If this was easy, everyone would be doing it. So the fact that action is being made and you're pushing yourself, that means progress is being made. And when you look back, a lot has been built. Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. That's right.
yeah. Walk through the forest, you know what I'm saying? You'll figure out that.
I ain't
like,
walking through the fucking forest at 10. You
All
on
them
your
damn
own.
mosquitoes
With
and shit out
that.
there.
Got me fucked
Nobody
up.
got time for that.
Wake up to walk through the forest. What I look like?
Yeah. To be fair to me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was a nature center, so it was a curated,
Listen, bro.
you know what I'm saying, protected forest that
I'm
labeled
not-
all the trees.
You
know
do
what
what
I'm saying?
you
It was
do.
natural.
I applaud you for that. me and my body, nigga.
Yeah.
You not trying to do no.
Daylight says, bro, try sweetening the message. Yo, it's certain perks to being, the guy who runs this. You know what I'm saying? Fox says, Memphis is a temperature deciduous forest biome. So I'm sure he found a forest.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was responding to there's forests in Memphis. Yes. plenty.
Shout out Fox, man. I don't even, what I'm saying? I don't even know how to respond to that. You know what I'm
Yeah. Like.
That was a kid is the GOAT type of
No,
statement.
that's
No,
what it was?
that's
You taking president level, okay, all right. I got to fall back. You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, look, man, it's 3:33. Big shout out to all my people who like alliteration and numbers. You know what I'm saying? It's been another episode of Type Beat. That was incredibly energetic.
It's been another episode of Type Beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my name is I Make Mad Beats. Behind me is my cast.
Unique.
See, Major.
Kid Maestro.
Yeah. And man, y'all stay dangerous or stay safe. Do both or do neither. Peace.
Bitch, are you jealous?
Oh shit, here we go again.